lot of bite and growl to that sound. And while you get the great qualities from the spruce, it's not missing the warmth that I love about cedar top guitars. Hello and welcome to the Guitar Collection. Today I'm sharing with you this 1980 guitar built by the famous American luthier Robert Ruck. Now, Robert Ruck was a beloved luthier, of course, super famously building Manuel Barrueco's famous number 58 guitar, which he recorded several albums on and brought Robert Ruck really quickly into fame with such an early guitar. This one is number 205, not only evidence from writing under the soundboard, but also from the original letter from 1980 with Robert Ruck's letterhead here, which details the specs of this guitar in Robert Ruck's letterhead and handwriting here. What a cool piece of history to have. So I'll run over the specs with you here, but of course this has Robert Ruck's signature, guitar and case, which by the way, this guitar comes with the original case. And yes, it's number 205. This was written on February 27th, 1980, when he was living in Middleton, Wisconsin. So let's go ahead and get into the specs. We have this really beautiful spruce top. Of course, one of the really classic Robert Ruck rosettes here. You've got this almost like candy caning of green and red, although the red is very seldomly placed in that pattern. When you look into the guitar, you will of course see R.S. Ruck 1980 written, and then also a really nice detail here on the tie block of the guitar. By the way, the guitar is set up with a low action, and there are still several millimeters here to adjust on the actual saddle. And then when it comes to the condition of this guitar has only had a couple of owners, and it's in really great condition. I mean, there's almost no nail marks at all under the strings. There is a little ding right here that's very, very tiny. And aside from that, no string slips, no string dings. It's in amazing shape, and this spruce top looks great. It's aged, it's not that bright white color that you get with brand new spruce. And of course, it's had quite a few years on it now. Now, the star of the show, as it so often is this beautiful Brazilian rosewood back and sides. There's a couple of lighter strips of Brazilian here, but it is in great shape. There is one small addressed crack here that is only 3.5 inches long or so. Not a big deal. Of course, we have a neck here that is rather C-shaped, very comfortable. Actually, no detectable D-shape at all. I find it very comfortable. Another important thing to note about this guitar is that it's actually 664 millimeters. It's a longer scale length than the typical 650, but it's not something I noticed at the beginning. I just felt this guitar was very, very comfortable. It wasn't until I broke out my tape measure and my caliper to notice this 54 millimeter nut width. It wasn't until then that I noticed that this was the case. It's very comfortable, very much like my Miguel Rodriguez guitar that I love. And many players choose longer scale length guitars, even with smaller hands, like Pepe Romero, who says he feels cramped if the scale length is too short or the strings are too close together. So this is an option for you if you're looking for a guitar like that with a little bit more real estate between the frets and between the strings. Moving on up to the head of the guitar, you'll see that classic design. You'll see it inlaid with this piece of Brazilian rosewood, and then there are gold hop tuners here. And of course, you'll see on the back of the neck this V-joint, joining of the neck and the head, of course in the German tradition. But now let's get into the sound of this guitar. Because, you know what, there is kind of this thing said about Ruck guitars, especially since he experimented a lot with bracings and different styles of guitar building, that they can sometimes be inconsistent. But I find these guitars around the 1980 range to be so nice. Maybe they just appeal to the quality of sound that I'm looking for. But listen to this. It has so much depth and power. It's what you hope comes out of your spruce single top guitars after 40 plus years of being on this earth. Over 45 years. Which is that there's no tightness detectable. If you told me this is a tight sounding guitar, maybe I'd say try different strings or something, but really great piano-like sound, honestly. It has this really charming sustain where there's nothing supernatural about it, but it's very long and has a very slow decay. It doesn't stay at the same level and go up or anything strange like that. It just has a very natural, slow decay. Yeah, and these trebles stay really nice and bright, but are very easy to sweeten up. And then every time I pluck one of these bass strings, I feel that I've got a really great support system, you know? Let's play Prelude 11 by Tárrega. You know, rarely do I feel this comfortable playing this piece on a guitar, and I think it's a number of factors, but one of the things is I feel very comfortable playing things like this and controlling the dynamics. Like, it's very, very clear. There's actually tons of sympathetic vibrations, but somehow the fundamental is coming out very precisely. I mean, listen to me doing this crescendo during this passage. I feel it's very obvious, and sometimes those crescendos aren't so obvious when there's tons of sympathetic vibrations. This one is getting exactly what I'm asking for, you know? And you can trust the sustain everywhere you are. And I love the clarity in places like that. And that low sixth string just makes you smile. Wow. Well, let's tune up to standard tuning, and while I do that, let me remind you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check this guitar out at guitarcollection.com. There's a full album of photos. And don't forget to subscribe to the email list, where you'll be notified of new guitars like this one before they become publicly available. Also can keep you updated of different exciting things happening here at the Guitar Collection. And now we get to explore standard tuning on this thing. This is one of my first times taking this guitar out of the case, so I'm just now hearing it as well. Jeez. A very, very compelling guitar. Let's try Registro by Lauro. the clarity is pretty unmatched on this guitar. You hear those pull-offs never get covered up. And a lot of times this arpeggio can sound like mush. Even if I play it warm, you hear the notes really, really clearly. Wow, this guitar makes me want to keep playing. Well, what a satisfying guitar to get to know for a moment. And if you've been looking for a great Robert Ruck guitar, or just an overall amazing sounding traditional guitar that has tons of volume, I didn't even mention that. This thing is very, very loud. In fact, I had to watch out with my audio interface, make sure it wasn't peaking. But yeah, it's got a lot of volume, a lot of sustain, very, very clear. And if you are addicted to those low basses, those super deep sounding basses like I am, this just might be for you. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.